the subservience?
Wrecked them. I mean, it hurt a lot of people. Get them all together and let's talk about the first years of the marriage, after the church had counseled them on human relationships, as they call it. They wrecked more people's lives early, worrying about who gets pregnant, how do you skirt around it, you can't do this, you can't do that. That some old priest that doesn't know what he's talking about is telling them what to do. Do you know they had a thing called churching? I had forgotten about it. Peter King, the congressman from Long Island, is very devout Catholic. He's about as devout as you're going to get. He said to me, when you're writing a thing, you're writing about that churching. And I flinched. I hadn't thought of the word. That was a process in which a woman, having had children, was unclean, of course, and had to be brought in for special prayers. And I said, gee, I can't believe that I ever did that. And then you began to think, who was at the baptism of the children? The mother never was there. Because of this churching, we caved in and let these bitter, old, bald men tell you what to do. Harm your wife.
All right, but on the other side of it, there are people that you know, priests, Father John Paulus.
Certainly, saints.
Wonderful, there are people working and who don't attack children and who are not pedophiles or pederasts or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you line that up with your view of the church? There are saints out there.
When did they raise their hand and tell anybody what was going on? They had a black wall of silence that made the police look easy when they cover up. They wouldn't do a thing about it. Their inaction is a sin. That they have to answer for. I know they're good people. I know they're marvelous. They've lived fine lives. But at a crucial point, they did nothing when they were supposed to.
You go to Mass every Sunday?
No.
You don't?
No, I'm not going to go for these. In and out. Certain places.
But there are times in the book where you cross the road to the church, you go in, you sit down.
Yeah.
Do you ever pray?
Yeah. Pray is another thing. Prayer is a personal thing. I pray.
Do you say the rosary? Do you?
I don't know if I say it, if I take something in my hand and I pray that way, but I do pray. I don't like prayers by rote. I'll say my own prayers. I'll make them up. I hate this. You say 10 Our Fathers, 10. Come on. Our Father's a great prayer. If people would pay attention to it. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Let me see you live up to that, and then we'll talk.
Do you consider yourself a Catholic?
Yeah, not a Roman Catholic, Church Catholic, but a Catholic.
But a good Catholic?
Yes. I don't know what a good Catholic is. I call myself a Catholic, yes.
Do you think the Church would call you a Catholic?
I don't care what they say. I don't believe in the Church.
Of any element?
No, none.
None. What about there are ordinary Catholics that you know, people, good people, good families, who believe in the Church, and they follow the doctrines of the Church, and they believe in the Pope.
They're sheep. They're sheep.
You mean they're not thinking people?
No.
What about faith? They're
faith
called people of faith.
But faith in what?
They believe.
In what?
They believe in this, that the Church is the physical representation of Christ on earth.
Oh, come on. I will not accept that. That's voodoo. The physical...
And the Pope is the vicar of Christ. They will tell you that.
The Pope is a man who has got four things on his mind. Abortion, 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 and Poland. And that's it. It's got nothing to do with me.
When you wrote a book about your brain surgery...
Yeah.
There was a part in the book, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the night before the surgery, you said you weren't afraid.
No.
You weren't afraid to die.
No, nothing mattered. I didn't care.
They took the top of your head off and cut into your brain.
Sure.
Why was it? Did it have anything to do with your religion or your faith or your beliefs that said, Jimmy, I'm not afraid to die?
Because at that time, I thought that I had done enough work where it counts in my... my life's work, and that's to write of the poor and try and comfort them or at least get them to see that somebody cares and write about them. And I think that, and it was always the blacks, so when I'm in bed I'm saying, well, the blacks have saved me this time because I wrote about them. They're the only ones that will, and that was what calmed me. I just thought I was in a state of grace thanks to the poor people I'd written about.
But not thanks to an infusion of grace.
Goodbye. What's that? What?
Or your upbringing as a Catholic,
no,
or your
nothing.
faith in God.
No. Do what you're supposed to do. Work is prayer. If you do the type of work you're supposed to do, worry about somebody other than yourself.
You have any hope for reform in the church?
Well, you've had one yet. Pope John the 23rd, you wouldn't have had Breslin writing about anything if he stayed.
Is that right?
Look, the first two things he did, I'll never forget. He's named the Pope, came out of nowhere, nobody knew who he was, and the first thing he went to a novitiate there with the Carmelite nuns where they stayed in there and prayed, cloistered. And he said, that's wonderful, God bless you, but also you could say some prayers in a cancer hospital, too. You don't have to remain in here closeted. You could go out and do a day's work with the sick. Yeah. And I started, that's it. Then he went to the jailhouse in Rome.
Yeah.
And they were all saying, could you get me out? And he said, I can't get you out now. Perhaps I could help you later on in your life. And we were cheering. There's a guy that knew where he was. I thought this would be the greatest, and it didn't work.
You think anyone's going to pray for you in the church?
For me?
Yeah.
No, they'll pray, but they do a day's work. Work is prayer. And do the work on behalf of people that don't have. That's all.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you.
Good.
That was my conversation with the legendary New York journalist Jimmy Breslin from October 2004, when he published The Church That Forgot Christ. I'm Michael Enright, and that's the Enright Files for this month. Thanks for listening.
On Ideas, the Enright Files, featuring the host of the Sunday edition, Michael Enright. If you want to find out what's coming up on Ideas, you can sign up for our weekly online newsletter. Just go to our website at cbc.ca/ideas and follow the links to weekly newsletter. The executive producer of Ideas is Pam Bertrand, and I'm Paul Kennedy.